uh, do it with my cell phone. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You can start it, loud, Peter.
Yeah. Okay. We were talking about the art of drawing and uh, expressing arts spontaneously and seeing perhaps what it is that we were drawing and meanings, and that's what I was trying to share about. What I thought this particular drawing that I did, which was talking with a friend about New UU and various things of that kind. And this spontaneous art, drawing lines, or oftentimes with me, it'll be letters that I will uh, continually write over the letter, like an H or an M or whatever, and drawing on top of the lines and keep uh, just using the pen to maybe. I mean, it made this picture by doing that, and it's a picture that I've been drawing for quite a long time. I've drawn this picture, and this time, of course, it's never the same, but this time it came out much more artistic, and I am not an artist at all. So, and what happened was I drew a uh, what looked like waves, like the New You wave image, and I had these waves in front of an island that has three peaks on it. In this case, it had three peaks. All the other times that I've done this drawing, it's only been one peak. And but the original drawings that I did had a woman flying over the sky above and going over the mountain or toward island or something like that, flying in the sky or floating through the sky like a plane or something like that. And um, I never knew or had a feeling exactly what that meant. I used to live in Hawaii, a couple of peaks like this, and maybe it was telling me I should go back to Hawaii or something like that, but I never actually thought that that was what the message was. So I'm talking with Charles about the new UU and about the Eckankar and misunderstandings and lack of understanding and viewpoints that were related about the sound or about our visions and also about the problems in the world and how it's being dealt with. So problems with organizations. This was what we were discussing. And this, in particular, we're talking about the problem with COVID and how the medicine doesn't contain any real virus. It doesn't contain the virus in the vaccine, which is supposedly required to do the real helping of people. It's more of a channel for people to be and be uh, attacked either electronically or chemically and etc. And psychically actually. And it's a whole composite, and I really don't have the ability that Charles had to describe this and share this at the moment. I did had the one. I didn't have the woman flying into it, and then I looked at the picture when it was near done, and I go, "Oh, wait a minute! I think this is the same place, and I'm going to have the woman flying into towards the ocean and the sky and the island, and the clouds I had two different drawings. Actually, there was 3 rays. It was very definitely 3 rays, very distinctly 3 lines, like the Roman numeral 3, and that was rays were over the mountain, and it was like a cloudburst kind of, where the rays come through, the sun rays, and so that was like the light coming into into the worlds of creation, as I was seeing it. And it comes in 3 rays. And also, though, there is something about the 3 and how the controllers use the elements of 3, like they do with religions in the Holy Trinity idea, and the God, spirit, and soul, that kind of thing, or the masters and the world and the spirit. All of those trinities, there's everything in this whole world is based on this coordination of the trinities. That's how creation in 3 dimensions occurs. It comes from the 4th dimension, and of course the 4th dimension comes from beyond that. Nonetheless, it's more definition that's needed. All I wanted to say was about this drawing is that I saw in the waves the shape of the woman again, and it's swimming. I saw, oh, she's swimming here around in the waves in the ocean. And so I drew another woman, the flying woman that I had in my memory, and I put her to the left, flying towards the right, into the center of the drawing, because at first I didn't actually see the waves with the woman in the waves, and then when I drew her flying on the left, and I saw her in the middle there. I go, oh, there she is. There it is. So I don't know what it means, but I definitely related it to this idea of that I heard after that, about that some people from, I'll say, Mariam, from your country, or foreigners, or, whoever, I don't know. I just was thinking, oh, that might relate to them traveling or coming to the island, where the community is in, maybe I'll call it the people of light, and the city of light, or something like that. Because I used to draw the city in front of the mountains at the beach, in the front part of the picture. That was the way I used to see it. But this time I didn't do any of that. And I was thinking it means that the woman was flying over creation and going to the real Island, I-S, Island. And she was going beyond creation, or back, across the borders of the creation, into the light, into the sky, into the sun, as that kind of metaphor. And that's what I am thinking that it is really about. Of course, it could be about other things, and more in this picture could be more of what it is also. But the thing I thought to say about this with the talk I had with Charles was that I had this experience, And this was when I was talking with Charles, I told him about an exercise that was with New UU and with what I called the new which relates to the idea, I think, of Satnam, who is the Lord of, or the idea of the first manifestation at the peak of creation. At the top of creation, this is where Satnam sits or is. And in a way, that could be the Lord that's being worshipped, but it isn't a concept of Lord or God or anything. It really isn't, except for, we have these interpretations to reference it. Know that you in Iran have this, and in the Middle Eastern religions, in Babylon and everywhere, Persia and India, have this about the Satnam, or the Sikhs are one religion that studies this, and I have a book on. It's called The Nam, I think. It's a really neat book, and just to say, there's one other person I think listening right now, and he heard all about this yesterday. I told him about it as well. And when I shared this experience, though, with Charles, I did a new UU or a new or a new UU, and but it was part of this whole thing that I was trying to share. That's a spiritual exercise of a kind. It's not like the old contemplations or meditations. It was more of a spontaneous experience. And what I've been getting is this exercise that I continually do, that every day it seems I get something more, and it keeps growing. And I'm really putting a whole thing together about being in touch with this, whatever it is. And I will say today in the talk, when Dwayne talked, at one point he said about, then you just get to the point of the is, or something like that. And that's it. There's nothing more to say. And you're there. And I'm right now almost again feeling that, because I think that's what it was and is. It is being with that. Words just don't do it. And you just know. And it's almost like being in a silence, or a nothingness, like, sort of, and or an allness. And that was what I experienced with. So I told Andrew this experience I called SPEX, which is like the English word for sex, but with the P, because it means spiritual, SP, exercise. And I wanted to add to that it's not an exercise. It's more like just something that whatever form you do, or whatever happens. And I call it that because EX also stands for a word I made up, which is called the exegesis. Exegesis, which is like exiting ekankar, exiting into the is, exiting all of the old, everything, past, all religions and all teachings and all ideas and everything, and being in the new is. And I
Excuse
think,
me.
isn't that
Peter.
something? Yes? Go ahead.
I just, during your talking, I find that you want to say that that island you faced with a woman, remember the island of in our country, Iran? and that woman reminded you, maybe me or my sister. Uh, yeah. And then I don't know why you are describing about the aching car, although I put it away, and one of the New You friend, which is who is started with New You, and then I was singing New You with and send it to her to him, and he's from Congo maybe. Uh, he sent me the voice of Aken Car singing and send it to me, and I clear this chat. Um, Although I know that each of us has a special manner or has a special way to connect with our real self. But no, and this time, the best way of connecting with our real self and the end of this way completely is New You Waves. I find it with my awareness. And now, to be honest, I don't like to um, spend my time with the knowledge of Ekankar. You know, uh,
Yeah, yeah.
I hurt very much with this uh, way, and most of my
Uh-huh.
friends faced with many hard and many enduring from this way, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I get that. I only mentioned it as an example of what I meant by the word exegesis, which is to exit or end and uh, and leave and have no part of that past, but to be. So it's not a spiritual exercise, uh, at all. And so, yeah, that's the reason I mentioned that it is actually not the same as, and I use that example, and each of us have our own examples of things that we uh, um, have departed, you know, left, and uh, with good reason, naturally. So I appreciate that. Yeah. Did
Okay,
you,
thank you.
yes?
Okay, thank you there.
Yeah. And I want to send you the drawing so you can see what it looks like. I don't know how much it relates to you and your uh, uh, and or someone your group. I know that there's connections with the what we talked about once about the sisters, the daughters of the light, and all of that. And I'm real sure that that's another one. I have been connecting with something with the Andromeda, in my view, and the importance of Andromeda in terms of, you see, all of these star groups, I would say, have something to do with raising the consciousness of the planet and of the people, and either warning them of about what's going on, or trying to present that much more broader view. And there's a lot of people in that area. They're really in that middle zone. They're working with the star people, or trying to become aware of their uh, history that is related to other planets or other stars, and why they came here, and also to try and connect with that because they want to rise above or exit the old lifestyle and repeating of lifetimes and all of those things that people want to probably would do well to know about and to get, that Jane talked about today a lot, actually. So, yeah, I relate to that. At the moment, is something is being presented to me, and those, like the solar hour, solar today show thing. I've been sending out email newsletter this week because it's giving me a little bit of an avenue to try and express this, and references that the people will listen to. It's some of them. And, I'm just trying you try different things, and I'm doing that at the moment. So that was the reason for that. It's just working in some areas, an educator, another way of doing the education. Yeah. Here we were teachers at our school also, and we have people that we stay in touch with, or that people that will, I think there'll be references with in dreams, and get the real awareness with them, even if we don't know where they are. Things like that are happening as well, and have been for some, ever since we've been here. So I really understand that one very well too. And, and anything else you'd like to? You have any experiences with drawing yourself? And have you been sharing those in the here, your drawings, and how they all of a sudden your real awareness becomes, connects to them, and it sees the expression. You know what I mean? I mean, you do know what I mean, I'm sure.
Oh, well, sure that when you talk about the Andromedian, I remember that painting, and remember when I was talking with my sister, and my sister really has many experience.
Yes.
Many experience. She could see many rain light in the island, and sent it the picture of them to me. And to be honest, she could connect with sun. She could see sun without any bothering.
Yes.
And she could see something behind the light. But this is not my experience. I'm here as a listener, and I try to be a good listener and be good witness. I'm trying. I'm a beginner of this way, to be completely aware about connecting with new sound. And to be honest, when my sister and I try to know you completely with a loudly sound, I heard the reflection of her sound from the sky, and then the huge hint, or maybe the oh yes, the huge hint come from this vibration of the new sound from her and myself. Push my right ear away, and then I find that this is the uh, real sign from the real side of being aware and being at the moment. And this is know your time. And then after this trying, especially when we try the new sound in 40 times, based the message from Ribazar, um, we continue it, and my experience is just be trying be um, a listener, good listener, and trying to be good observer or maybe witness. I could see that I faced with changing my style of life, uh, about having food, about having time for taking rest, and about seeing the sky and seeing the nature, trees, flowers, people, and everything is going to be changed, and I'm changing.
Yes.
My experience about myself is like this, and about my sister is far from me, and there's many difference between my experience and my sister experience, to be honest.
Yes. Yes. I know. I sense that. Yeah. Yeah. She has quite a different lifestyle, and she's also, well, we all have these challenges, we'll say, in our own lifestyle and so forth, in our own presentations and our own direction, uh, you know, constantly, constantly. And each one goes through, we each go through the things that we're letting go and raising up and or delivering and working with, one of those three, because we have to deal with the three dimensions here, and we have to deal with those three things, holy trinities or whatever, the same set of threes, because we have the body and we have the emotion and we have the mind, as an example. Those each are unique, but they're also unified, so, and we know that, and we can't just settle them away and say that we don't have them. Uh, that wouldn't be operational, actually. I think you actually have to uh, integrate that. And so that's the process and the stuff that we all do, It's one way of talking about it. And then, we try also, I think it's good when we just kind of let go and let things be and let in whatever it is that the is being presented to us, or we're connecting with, and the new guide um, alignment, that I think we're becoming part of wholly, step by step, actually. And as of them, we are, but not dependent, not codependent or deficient, at all, and not comparing either, because there isn't any laws and regulations there. There's no principles and follow this and do that and all of that. We just, it's almost spontaneously in the moment. That's what I'm finding for, like, the arts, creations, and music, and I'll just yeah, places I go, every place I go, I never know what's going to happen. Actually, uh, I might even start to go out somewhere, and I go, well, I don't know where I'm going exactly. I really don't, but I have this sense of that it, there maybe I'm going to go somewhere out to and meet someone or do something, and that's what happens. But I very, very many times don't even actually know where I'm going exactly. I have maybe an idea or two, but it never is exactly how I think it's going to be. So it's kind of interesting. It's not like being on the same schedule. I don't have a schedule so much like many people do. You know, they have a schedule. They have to go to their job and whatever, so they're. But even then, we get to our work or whatever, and you don't know actually what's going to happen that day. There's always something different um, and unusual, and sometimes we get these opportunities. I've been like uh, making it available for the opportunity of whatever it might be. Um, I went to the park one day. I didn't know where I was going to go. I went to the park and I took some pictures. I'll send them over here now. One or two of them. They're really beautiful. It's a beautiful park. It's a springs, springs of the water that comes up from the underneath the ground, and it's just really a nice place to be. Living near, live very close to it. Um, it's a state park. We call them state parks. Um, Sometimes they're called national parks. Anyway, I'll send a picture along right now. So um, let's see here. There's one. I think that's one. Um, it's got forest and it's got little beaches. It's got a river that runs through it, and then the springs that you can swim in. It's really, really a really beautiful place. When there's no people there, usually, actually, is kind of the thing about it. So, okay. Um,
Peter, I can't see the picture you
oh,
try to
yeah,
see it
I didn't
show.
send it yet. Actually, I sent a
Yeah.
picture of my car that I mashed up accidentally.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But I think this is one. Let's see what that is.
Uh-huh. Great. Great.
Oh, that's the river, yes, and the springs right next to the river. I'll send one more that maybe will be better. I wanted to send a picture of the trees in the forest. It was very beautiful. Um, hmm, nope, that's not it. There they are.
Sure, it's a great time and wonderful
There's one of the
talking.
pictures. Yeah, I know you're going to have to go. I know that. Me too. There's a picture of the path and the trees.
It's really beautiful, nice.
Yeah,
I feel
it really is. It's called Blue Springs. Uh, I'll send one more. Um, and I make videos there. I'll go to the river. I've written songs there, and it's really nice. There's another picture of the path and the trees. and I'll send one more. And then maybe I can get that drawing. I'll find a way that you can see the drawing so you can see what I meant. Thanks, Mariam. Really nice talking with you. And that was
Thank
really
you.
good. Yes, I look forward to getting the talk recording you sent to me.
Okay. You can download it and use it. Have a great
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
yeah. There's one more
Bye.
picture.
Bye.
Bye, and take care.
You have a great time with you and bye. You.
There you go. See you, honey. Bye. Andrew, you're still